Hello everyone, welcome to this vlog. This was my trip to Lake Tahoe with my family. It was my brother's graduation trip. He just graduated from Michigan State this spring. And you guys know last summer we went to Maine for my graduation trip. So this was his going out to Lake Tahoe. We had a really busy travel day getting there, 3 flights. We stopped and got McDonald's, and then I think this was either our second or third flight. I'm not really sure. I think this must have been the second because the first plane and the last plane were really small, and this was 3 across. But here's me, very annoyed. I think we were probably 3 hours into that flight, and we still had another flight to go. When we got there, this flight I sat next to my sister, and this was the flight into Reno where we finally got our rental car, and then we're on the way to our Airbnb for the night. Here's me just getting some views on the way. It was really pretty. We were worried the whole time in the car that we were going to crash because my dad kept looking out the window. But when we got into town, we had to go to the grocery store. My family does not eat out when we're together because my brother and sister both have a lot of allergies. So we had to get some groceries, and then here's a quick little video of our Airbnb. It was a really cute little cabin. And that was all for the first day, just traveling. So here's my coffee the next morning. Getting ready to go hiking with my family. Here's me brushing my teeth, just getting myself around before we headed out to the trails. So the first day we hiked to, I forget the name. It was one of the waterfall trails. It was really, really cool. But here's just us on the way. The camera really isn't capturing how big and grand everything was. All of the views were really beautiful, especially the mountains. But here's us on the way to the trail. This one we all did. Me, my dad, my mom, sister, and brother, we all did this. And then I have quite a few clips of us just making our way to the waterfall. This was the very first activity we did on the very first day. Here's me. I had my sister take a quick little clip. I feel like these vlogs a lot of the time are of my family and not me. So here's me, and then here's my brother once I got back behind. I'm showing you guys all these mountains because the whole time we were here we were joking that we felt like Mountain Goat Mountain. I don't know if you guys remember that iPhone game. But Mountain Goat Mountain. So here's the falls we finally got to, which was really pretty. And then us on the way back, we actually went home, dropped off my mom and sister, and me, my dad, and my brother went out to do another hike. This one was really steep. I think we gained almost 2,000 feet in elevation. It was like 1,800, which was crazy. And I have a lot of time to talk during these clips because a lot of them were a little bit longer. So it was very steep and I was working hard. I think this next clip is me once I started working a little bit more. But I will say, storytell a little bit, that this was the hardest, most scary hike I've ever been on in my life. I was legitimately scared that me or my dad or my brother was going to get seriously hurt on this hike. It doesn't look like it right now because this was towards the bottom of the trail still. But once we got about 3/4 of the way up, the trail was covered with snow, or debris, all of this stuff. So we couldn't find the trail, but we were pretty close, so we decided to keep going up. And once we got to that point where it was no turning back, we kept going, and the way down was so steep, so slippery because it was all snow. I think in one of the next clips you'll see a little bit of the snow. I couldn't capture the full look of anything because I had to put my phone away because I was crawling through the snow on my hands and knees trying not to slip. Here's a really pretty little lake that we came upon before any of that happened. But I just wanted to give that background because that was a really big part of this trip for me. So like I said, here's that first bit of snow. And we couldn't believe, we're like, it's summer, we can't believe there's so much snow. And then we got to the top of the mountain and we were like, oh no, there's so much snow. It was a really pretty view, but I was just so scared that I wasn't really looking at the view, honestly. You can kind of see in the background how much snow was piled up, and you can also see how high up and how steep it was going down. So really, really scary. Here's my hand. You can see it's all dirty because I've literally been climbing with my hands through the snow. I did not have hiking boots. I just wore my tennis shoes, so my traction was not good. I think this was pretty close to the top, if not the top. Yeah, that must have been the top. And then here's once we got back onto the path, way down after all of, that stuff happened. And then here's us back in the car, thankful to be out of there. Like I said, I wouldn't call it a positive experience in the moment, but looking back on it now, it's a really funny story, really cool. Here's the hot tub. After we got home, I just put my suit on and my whole family went and sat out there. And then here I am after washing my hair, showering for the night, and me and my family sat down to watch some Love Island. Then here I am going to sleep, and the next morning I've got my suit on because we are going to kayak. So we went to Lake Tahoe State Park and rented clear kayaks, and we had a nice little guide that took us out there. Tahoe Multisport, yeah, that was the name. And then here's a clip of us in this van where we were absolutely cooking. It was so hot and the air conditioning was blowing but not blowing. It was like blowing hot air on us, so we were dying the whole ride. But here's us once we got to the beach, getting ready to get loaded into the kayaks. This was probably my favorite activity that we did. I really loved this. It was really, really beautiful. But here I am just showing you guys kind of the view. And then once we got to Bonsai Rock, our guide lady asked if we wanted to jump off, and me, my brother, and my dad did. It's about to show me jumping off. I wish I would have put my legs straight or did a cannonball, because this jump is not cute, but I added this because I thought it was really fun. And then a little bit more of the scenic water before we went to head back where we started. We were out here for 2 hours, I think, but it was super worth it, really fun. And then here we are back on the bus again, cooking. And then here's what we ate when we got home. My mom just made chicken on the grill with kind of a barbecue sauce that she made. And then after dinner we had some wine and again sat down to watch our daily Love Island. And then that was all I took for that night. So here's me ready for our third and final day on vacation. We went to this gondola. It was called Heavenly Resort Gondola or something like that, where we went in this little cube all the way up the mountain. It was really cool. And then here we are at one of the stop points where you can get out and kind of view the scene. So just showing you guys that. And then at the top you could get on a ski lift and be out and kind of go even farther, which I thought was really cool. It was really warm all of these days, so yeah, really nice to be outside. We actually did a little bit of shopping after this also, but I did not get a clip of that, unfortunately. Towards the end of the trip, I always get a little forgetful about filming, so didn't get that, but I did get our hike in the afternoon. We hiked to Eagle Lake, which was really, really pretty. I took a lot of pictures here, but then finally got into the water, and that's actually the last clip I have, guys. So thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it. I will see you next time, and good night.